Hi, welcome to the next video of the IB Business Management series. So today we have 2.4 motivation and demotivation, and this is the SL part. So in another video, I'll look at the HL portion, which will involve three more sort of motivation theories. So firstly, we'll look at three motivation theories that are studied at SL. So firstly, we have Taylor. And Taylor has established this sort of scientific management idea. And this scientific management relies on sort of autocratic leadership, so centralized decision making, making the one leader makes all the sort of decisions. And he argued that workers are only motivated by financial rewards, and he supported sort of piece rate pay. So that's when you sort of get money for a product that you make or for a product that you sell, etc. Next, we have Maslow. So Maslow has this sort of hierarchy of needs, where what the theory sort of is that you are motivated by the sort of next thing that you don't have on this pyramid. So if your psychological needs are satisfied, then you're motivated by safety. If your safety and psychological needs are satisfied, then you're motivated by creating a social system, etc., etc. And what he's saying is that you cannot be motivated by sort of social things if your psychological, physiological, and safety needs are not satisfied yet. So the sort of manager in this situation, or like using this theory, would have to identify what the worker is sort of missing and use that in order to motivate them. So I would assume we're moving sort of between the the motivating through the social or the esteem or the self-actualization. So in the case that we have sort of these two satisfied, then you would sort of motivate the employee through allowing them to create a good sort of social network within the organization, etc. Well, some criticisms of the theory are that it's like inapplicable to all people, and it's hard to sort of determine where the worker is. And also, this theory doesn't sort of tell you how to satisfy that need of like the social need or the esteem need, etc. And the next theory is the Herzberg motivators and hygiene factors theory. So the hygiene factors are factors that do not motivate the worker, but their absence sort of demotivates. So what these will be is like basic pay, some safety, etc. And what he's saying is that you need these factors, but they do not motivate, but they will demotivate you if it's not there. And then you have motivators, and we will look at these sort of four motivators, but these motivators sort of lead to psychological growth of the workers and increased work satisfaction, and can be like a sense of achievement, recognition, and responsibility. What the four sort of, he also called it like non-financial rewards are job enlargement. What this refers to is giving the worker more variety of tasks and giving them like more tasks to do. And you have job enrichment. Job enrichment is giving the worker more complex or challenging tasks. Then you have job empowerment, which is sort of the delegation of decision-making power. And then you have job rotation. So that's when workers take turns doing tasks. So it is not sort of boring. So then we also have to look at different financial rewards and non-financial rewards. So different financial rewards are firstly salary. A salary is a sort of a fixed amount that's paid yearly or monthly, doesn't matter, as long as it's sort of like, for example, 30,000 euros, whatever, a year. Then that's a salary. Wages. The difference between these two is that wages are based on how much time you work or how much pieces of like output you make. So wage is not a fixed amount. It depends on either hours or the volume of output that you produce. So this was very supported by Taylor. Then you have commissions. So commissions are sort of when you make a percentage of the sale that you make. So, for example, this is very common with like real estate agents where they make 20% of the house they sell. Um, so this is also very motivating. The difference is it's a percentage thing, and here it is like a set amount for like hour or piece. But both of them are sort of motivating in that they make you work more. Then you have profit related pay. So that's like when you pay your employees a percentage of your profit alongside their salary, which can then motivate them to sort of achieve or like do good things within the company. And fringe benefits. So these are sort of for the actual worker non-financial benefits. For example, like getting them a car, or like a holiday, paying them a holiday, or giving them a discount for like your company's products. But they are financial from the view of the company, so that's why we classify them as financial rewards. And the non-financial rewards can be sort of allowing people to work together, offering them some sort of training that they will then sort of use for their future, or it's just like professional development that is valued, giving them purpose. There are sort of three types of training: on the job, off the job, and induction. Induction is sort of like at the beginning when you're sort of introduced to the job, when you're inducted into the job. On the job is when someone from your company does it. Off the job is when you sort of pay an external company or organization to sort of do the training for you. The sort of disadvantages and advantages of these two are obvious. This is cheaper, but like can sort of introduce the person who is training the people can sort of introduce bad habits to the worker, etc. But this will be more expensive, and there's sort of less control over it. It's common sense. Um, and then we have sort of also recruitment and like the process of recruitment. So, firstly, you have job analysis. So, you analyze what sort of person is needed for the job, what sort of job it is. Then, you make a job description. So, you describe the job, what the sort of actions within the jobs are, what the responsibilities are. Then, you do a person specification. So, you specify the sort of person that you would like within this position. Then, you have job advertisement, when you sort of publish the job on the website. Then you shortlist the candidates. So you sort of select, you ask people to send you their CVs and some information, and then you sort of shortlist the best candidates and invite them for interviews. Then you select the person, you run some background checks, and then you can give a job offer. And there are sort of two types of recruitment. One is internal recruitment, the other is external recruitment. And the internal recruitment is sort of a process of hiring people who already work at the business. So it's sort of like promotion. So if there's an arising sort of need for some job within the organization, you can offer this job to people, and there are benefits of this. Like the fact that the people already know the sort of work culture, and you sort of already know them, and you know that like they are good workers, for example. But the negative is that there's a very sort of limited pool of applicants, because you're only limited to the people within your company, and new person does not bring any sort of new ideas to the company. And so then external recruitment is just hiring people who do not yet work in the organization. And the sort of positives and negatives of this are the exact opposite of internal recruitment. So you have more applicants, but you run the risk of sort of the person being completely unusable, and it can also be more sort of time consuming and expensive of having to pay the sort of job website or whatever to sort of publish the job offer. And lastly, we also have to look at appraisal. So appraisal is sort of the formative assessment of an employee's performance. And there are there are four different types. Firstly, we have the formative appraisal. And formative appraisal has the purpose of sort of developing the worker and like helping them learn. So this is sort of done to it's not done to sort of like judge the employee. It is more of done to like help them develop themselves. And you have summative appraisal, which is sort of the opposite. It's when you like measure the employee's performance against some sort of standards, and you assess their performance, and the employee is then sort of judged upon that. And then there are also two different types, and that's a 360-degree appraisal. And 360-degree is when you collect feedback from like colleagues, from managers, from the person themselves, from like all types of different people, and you sort of make a holistic picture out of that. And then there's self appraisal. And so that's when the employee themselves sort of self reflects. And this can sort of like bring motivation if it is done often. And lastly, also, we have one equation, and that is for the labor turnover rate. And I'm just going to write it down. It is sort of the leaving staff divided by the total staff times 100. And so what this sort of shows you is how like the percentage of people who leave your company, and it is the opposite of staff retention. So if you have sort of 30% turnover rate, then your staff retention is 70%, because retention means like keeping the employees. So with retention, instead of this, we would have staying staff, or like non-leaving staff. And so what this sort of rate shows you is the satisfaction of the employees in general, and having a low labor turnover rate is in general good, because it means you have lower costs sort of acquiring new workers, and it is also sort of the organization is more stable, and also less costs associated with induction training are present. So yes, that is it. In the next video, as I said, I will talk about the 3 HL motivation and demotivation theories. Thank you for watching.